Hikaru had a comfortable win, and here we see he is getting ready to play against Damjanovic, another international master from Serbia?
I think Serbia too.
This is always a fun quiz in knowing your flags. But here we can see that Hikaru, he is already speaking a lot. And it's interesting how streaming has become kind of like a superpower, it feels like, when you're playing these Title Tuesday tournaments. But it seems like it's helping the players to kind of talk out loud and talk through their thoughts.
Exactly. It's a way of staying in the moment. Like sometimes if you're just playing a tournament, kind of from your office in silence, in the dark, then it can be easy to fall in and out of form, focus. But by talking about it, you stay consistent. Not just that, but you get the stress out. Like you kind of share the load with all of your viewers. And here we see Hikaru playing the King's Indian defense. It's definitely helped him, I think, more than anyone in World Chess. He was already a fantastic player before he started streaming, but it's helped him level up.
Something I really want to hear from Faustino later as well, the fact that he does have a YouTube channel and he is streaming quite a bit. To have like that focus as well as trying to become the best, it seems like that's a difficult thing, but then I feel like Hikaru has kind of shown that it can actually be some kind of helpful tool to really kind of have a more chill relationship to the chess itself and make it more like casual, but also, yeah, to speak through your thoughts. And he's really good at it. He's talking constantly. Exactly.
And sometimes it's about the chess, sometimes it's about the weather or the music. Or he can be doing anything, Hikaru, but he's just fantastic at multitasking somehow. That's not easy. Chess players, we struggle with multitasking, or at least from my experience. So the fact that Hikaru can combine the talking with the playing of fantastic moves is just super impressive. In the meantime, he's gone back to his childhood favorite opening, this King's Indian defense, and often it means that black gets pawns on the dark squares, white is pushing on the left flank, black is pushing on the corresponding flank, and black's attack goes towards the king. So in blitz chess, I do believe in the power of this pawn formation and the fact that you're going for glory, and if you win on that side, it's checkmate. White, in the meantime, is playing more positionally. If they win a pawn or something on the other side of the board, then the game continues. Damjanovic, we see him appear. The Serbian IM looking very, very sporty, up for a fight against Hikaru here. As he looks into the position, he might need to speed up, though. He's been using a lot of time in still what is quite well known, at least this type of position. Hikaru's going to get an attack and some tricks later, so he does need to hurry Damjanovic, both on the board and clock, pushing his pawn to a5.
And I'm searching in our database, and I can't see that he has actually participated before. So it must be an interesting debut for him to suddenly sit across the board from Hikaru Nakamura. And we could even see him kind of sitting as if he was sitting at a chessboard with his head in his hands and also eating. Quite the challenge you get already in round 3 when you haven't played that many times in Title Tuesday.
Yeah, Title Tuesday experience tends to count. Normally it's just practice, practice, practice. Hikaru plays every week, Magnus plays every week. That's why they tend to end up on the top. But yeah, we'll see if Damjanovic can fight. I like what he's doing on that queen side. Look at that. I talked about one connect 4 earlier, but white's pawns are also pretty nice. Whose pawn structure is going to be the better of the two?
And he seems like he's very comfortable, Damjanovic. Like the way he's eating, leaning back. I think he's enjoying the situation right now.
Exactly. He's either talking to that yogurt or whatever he's eating, or he's talking to the fans as he streams. But he is very young. It looks like he's just 19 years old. And yeah, very strong player. He's got a high blitz rating over the board as well as on chess.com. So this is not going to be easy for Hikaru, who has won a pawn.
Who's also eating.
Who's also eating. That's the trick. Fuel up, snack up. And there we go. Okay, explosion time in the center. Hikaru did win a pawn, but this has allowed some exchanges, and the white knight is likely to land on d6. That's going to be scary for Hikaru. Ooh, I think this is a potential banana skin for Hikaru. Position-wise, like black's attack is not existent yet. Can Damjanovic strike? Take this pawn, keep pushing, bring his knight in. So many tempting moves.
I feel like when players sit like this when they're playing online chess, that means that they're really looking for something amazing, because you only have 2 minutes on the clock. You need to have your hands ready. And he is sitting there as if he's playing an over-the-board game.
That's true. That's true. We see people sit like this over the board all the time, but he needs to get that hand on the mouse. He needs to speed up. He needs to calculate in his mind, not out loud anymore. Oh, time situation, I fear for him. 1 minute 40 now and counting.
What decision is he trying to consider? Is he trying to figure out what to do with his pawn? But then he might trade the queens. Is that what he's worried about?
Yeah, maybe he wasn't so sure about an endgame, but queen's off the board with a white pawn on c7 looks strong.
Yeah.
Okay, he just develops his bishop. That was good as well. Like, when in doubt, just improve a piece. But it took him too long on the clock. Hikaru now with more than double the time of his opponent. I do like, though, that all the white pieces are cutting across this diagonal, so no black pawns can really push on that side of the board. It's all about the center and queen side, where white is the one with the strong pieces.
And we can also see that there is actually, that's quite a big matchup that we have between the Battle of the Sams, Sam Shankland versus Sam Serbian. That's two really good players that are playing each other already in round 3.
Yeah, the strongest Sams in the world.
Yeah.
Playing for the title. Uncle Sam, who's going to win that one. I think Serbian is probably a favorite online over the board. I think Shankland has more of a chance. I very rarely see Shankland play in these tournaments. Sam Serbian plays every week.
That makes me think, like, okay, Hikaru, obviously the best chess player named Hikaru, but
yes.
Do you know any Davids that are better than you?
David Navarro.
Oh, so you knew it very quickly. Okay, so this is something people think about.
Yeah, I would like to think I'm the second best David in the world. There's also David Paravian.
Yeah,
Russia,
that's the one I was thinking of.
David Anton Guiara.
Oh, yeah, that's a difficult name to bear.
You must be the best Mord in the world.
I hope so. But I think it's a name in Africa as well, like for guys. So I'm wondering, like, there could be players I don't know of, but I've never played against another mod. So I hope I'm the best.
That could be your New Year's resolution: win the Mord World Championship.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and Hikaru has maintained his time advantage. Whoa, we see a blunder for the first time in this game. I think the clock was just getting to him. Damjanovic, he's walked into some really nasty stuff now. After knight takes knight, his queen will be lured to a difficult diagonal where it will be stared down by the black bishop. Not just that, but already the white queen could get trapped by the black rook. I think he's planning a queen sacrifice. If the rook comes across, he's going to take this bishop and come back and take with his knight. But that is troublesome. When you have to calculate with no time on the clock, this is where it really comes back to bite you. This is where Hikaru tends to do well.
But he's spending time, Hikaru, right now. He has to calculate stuff as well. And it's evening out. I mean, he had double the amount of time earlier, and now he's down to 1.5 minutes.
Ooh, maybe some chances. Hikaru does need to be accurate now. He does need to try and trap that white queen. It's not easy to know what the path is. The two main obvious moves would be to attack the queen with your rook, to attack it with your knight, or potentially a third, to trade off knights first. There we go. He goes for that latter option. Now he needs to continue attacking the queen. Either move his knight out of the way or with his rook. But Hikaru makes the wrong choice, and suddenly the clock's at almost level, and he's worse. Pawn down for Hikaru in some of these positions. Watch out. You've got a bishop coming as well to pin your knight. This is turned around.
And they're both really low on time now. It's going to be a bullet scramble.
Okay, could we see the first big shock? What do you think, Maud?
Oh, this is going to be heartbreaking for Damjanovic when he looks at the game afterwards if he doesn't manage this. But he's spending too much time.
Yeah.
The clock is very important in this stage of the game.
I was a bit panicky retreating the queen. Suddenly she was actually on a quite strong square. But this was the idea, to defend her bishop and to block, throw the knight in the way. And now, retreating the queen, then retreating the bishop. He's trying to play safety first chess, but that rarely works in time trouble. Hikaru pushes the pawn, blocked. Oh, this could go either way. Like 30 seconds.
Wow.
It just might not be enough.
Place your bets. Magnus has won his game.
Oh, can Hikaru keep pace? Suddenly he's totally lost, but I think it's a very narrow path. He should be starting with a check here. Damjanovic, he should be bringing the knight back as well to block the bishop. No, he doesn't find it. He needed to block this bishop coming in, swooping for a pawn. Suddenly this has turned. Hikaru has the makings of an attack. You can even take this pawn. It's getting crazy now, this position. You want to release the other pawn. Okay, he goes for the rook instead, the material. He's the exchange up, Hikaru Nakamura, but worse again, 31 seconds against 14.
Oh, and Hikaru is starting to make really quick moves. He's realized that that's the most important thing. He's actually trying to trade the queens now. And a rook. A rook was hanging.
Not just a rook, mate in a few moves, apparently, according to the eval bar there. A pawn is dropping. Hikaru's going to win this game. That was purely the clock. Damjanovic is going to be kicking himself, spending so much time early in the game.
Oh, and Sevian